Hello, my pretty girls and my handsome little men. How are you? Lovely to see you as usual. All set, all showered and dressed up, right? And ready with your drinks and with your friends or cousins or your siblings, maybe your moms. Are you ready to listen to another story? And how's school going? Any tests? What did you score? Let me know. And let's start with what? The message of saving the planet Earth. Yes, the planet Earth, saving it totally and keeping the environment clean, pollution free and healthy so we can have good health, good life, active life, longer life. All of us. It's for all of us, all over the world. So, kya message tha? Gigi, yes. So I just wanted to tell you, and you give me your suggestions also, how can we make the environment clean? Sabse pehle, whatever you eat, the coverings, the wrappers, जो उनके लफाफे हैं, packs हैं, especially plastic, उसको मत फेंकें. Don't throw it around. Throw it in the dustbin, right? You know what plastic does? Plastic, what it does is, it suffocates. You know, you remember Rooney's story I told you? What happens is that it does not dissolve even in the sea, and fish think it's food, different kind, all the sea creatures think it's food, and they swallow it, and then it gets stuck there, it chokes them, it makes them throw up, and then they start dying. Would you like that to happen to our sea creatures? And it's the same here, you know. Remember that story, Don't Litter, in which he would throw plastic wrappers around and things like that at home, even in school, even outside school, even on the street, and the cat choked on it. She had to be taken to the doctor in emergency. So हमें ख्याल रखना चाहिए इन चीज़ों का. और जब हम शॉपिंग जाते हैं तो हमें अपने कपड़े के क्लॉथ बैग्स लेके जाने चाहिए, या ऐसा प्लास्टिक हो कि जो डिसॉल्व हो जाए, और या फिर paper bags. Totally, you know what? There was kids in school, and they started making paper bags and started selling them, and soon the whole school, like about 250, they all started carrying paper bags, even for their lunches. Even they would take it home and give it to their moms, or whenever they would go shopping, they would use paper bags. Right, so all done, right? And they were very brilliant kids, I must say. And you are brilliant too. आप भी तो बहुत smart है, aren't you? फिर और क्या कर सकते हैं हम? Air pollution. Air pollution का ये है कि you should not try to, when you're going to school, do a carpool. What carpool means कि आप किसी फैमिली या किसी और के साथ, नेबर्स के साथ, या जो रास्ते में आपके लोग रहते हैं उनके साथ शेयर कर लें car. So there'll be lesser cars on the street and less air pollution. You know, the chemical gases that come out from the exhaust of the cars. Yes, yeah. So air pollution भी prevent हो सकती है if we stop smoking, if we stop burning too much coal for heat and warm bonfires and you know, wood. So that ways trees are cut down, and that's really sad. So we should try not to smoke, discourage smoking, no littering. You can make a compost and fertilizer by digging a hole. Remember that story? Yes. And then you can plant a tree. You don't dispose of your plastic bags in the sea, and air pollution can be cut down by making outdoor visits in the car. much lesser unless it's very important to go, or do carpooling when you have to commute to your school or college or office. And what else? Yes, we should plant trees, yes, instead of cutting them down, right? And they save us from landslides. जो पहाड़ों पे से तूफान आते हैं और वो सारे plants और trees और rocks आते हैं और villages के villages, गांव के गांव हो जाते हैं, ठीक है ना? बहुत दुख की बात होती है. And what else can we do? Yes, good children. All right, so do remember to plant trees. Now, next is a story. Now, I'm sure you all can relate, और आप इस ऐसे बच्चों से भी मिले होंगे. कई बच्चे बहुत hard working होते हैं. They're called diligent. उनको क्या कहते हैं? Diligent, hard working, and nice and kind. और कुछ होते हैं lazy. They don't want to do any work. So let's see what happens when you are lazy and you don't help out others. And you know, my motto is always helping others, help extending your hand of kindness and help to everybody, those who are in need, because it all comes around to you, and that's how our planet Earth can be a happier and loving place. Okay, a sip of tea. Okay, now there was this girl. What's her name? Okay, there was this girl. Her name was Linda, and she lived with her father, and then her father married another lady. Right? This is Linda. Isn't she sweet looking? Ah, I drew it for you guys, right? So we can have Linda with us. All right. Now Linda was very nice and sweet and hard-working girl. She would help her father with homework and all. She had to. The father got married to another lady, or she also had a daughter. Now there was a big difference between Linda and the other girl, Belinda. Now Linda was very nice and polite. She would not answer back. Now this new mother of hers did not treat her very well because she was not very good-natured. She was greedy, and she didn't want to share food and things with Linda because she was not her own daughter. All right, but she really pampered and loved and looked after her other lazy daughter. So the name of the story is The Lazy Girl. So, and the diligent girl. Actually, it's all about her. And let's see now. Belinda's mother is always angry with Linda. So Linda, one day she's working, and I don't know, suddenly her mother, her father's second wife, she starts screaming at her, and she gets mad at her and tells her, go, get out. We are 3 mouths to feed. अभी हम 3 लोगों ने खाना खाना होता है, हमारे पास इतने पैसे नहीं होते. Yeah, because he's a small peasant, the father. और तुम निकलो घर से. She pushes her out and go find a job in a rich house, and when you have made money, then come back and bring money back also. She doesn't say anything, and she just picks up her bag. With her mother didn't even let her have clothes, just 1 or 2 clothes she had, and she left home. Now she was a brave girl. She was determined, and she was hopeful that she'll find a place in a house where she could work as a house worker. घर में as a maid वो काम कर सकेगी और पैसे जमा करके save कर लेगी. Then she would be able to go back and meet her father and be home. So she started walking and walking, and she walked and walked until she came across a tree, and the tree could talk. Isn't that amazing? The talking tree. It was a huge, beautiful tree giving shade and fruits. Now, but since it was kind of autumn, and its twigs, its छोटी छोटी branches को twigs कहते हैं, हाँ. और वो सब ड्राई हो रही थी और जितनी भी एनर्जी थी ट्री ट्रंक में वो सारी उनमें ज़ाया हो रही थी कि बिकॉज नथिंग वाज ग्रोइंग. The oak tree said, "Hey girl, who are you and what are you doing here?" So Melinda told the tree. She was surprised, but she was intrigued. She was ecstatic. Wow, and she was excited. खुश हो गई. उसने कहा कि मैं किसी रिच हाउस में जाके काम करना चाहती हूँ ताकि मैं पैसे बना सकूँ. So I can earn some money and save some money. The oak tree said, "Well, can you do me a favor?" Melinda says, "Yes, of course I can." It said, "Please climb up and break my thin branches." Yeah, it's painful. It would be less a strain on me and I'll be cleaner. Then I can grow healthier. Melinda said, "Why not?" And she she climbed up the tree and she put away all the dried branches, the small branches, dead branches of the tree. Oh, so she was done. And then she walked on. The oak tree thanked her. Then as she was walking, now it was a long way off to where rich people lived. She had to walk to bigger farms. There, on the way now, she met a mud oven. Oven, you know what? जिसमें आपकी मामा खाना पकाती, बेक करती हैं, केक्स बेक करती हैं, brownies, cookies, right? मगर वो mud का था. You know, like we have tandoors. Yeah, mud oven, outdoor oven. उसका बुरा हाल था, उसकी मट्टी गिरी हुई थी. And it was very sad. He saw the girl, he opened his eyes. It was a talking oven again. And it said to the oven, "Hey, where are you off to, young girl?" She said, "I am going to find a job in a rich household so I can save some money." He said, "Okay, but can you do me a favor?" She said, "Yes." He said, "Can you help me clean and repair me? My mud has fallen off, right? And even I need some cement, all around me to fix me. I need a lot of repair." Melinda said, "Yes, of course I can do that." So first, she scraped him, she cleaned the bottom of the oven, and then she took some mud and mixed it with water, and she was all dirty, but she didn't care. She wanted to help the mud oven. And then she spread it all over the oven, and it was, when it would dry, it would be as good as new. It was so happy. "Thank you, lady." And the young Missy starts walking. What's her name? Belinda. That's right. The lazy Melinda is at home, right? So now Linda is walking on, and then she comes across a dog. Oh, woof, woof, woof. Oh, and it attracts her attention. She says, "Where are you? Woof, woof, go." She said, "I'm going to look for a job." He says, "I'm so dirty. Woof, woof. Can you wash me clean and clip my hair? I even have a pair of scissors." "Oh, woof, woof." She says, "Okay." She took the dog, she petted him, and then she took him to a stream, washed him clean, clipped his hair, and he was looking so smart and so happy. And he also, "Woof, woof, thank you so much. Woof, woof, thank you so much." He said that. Now she had helped who? The tree, the mud oven, and this dog. Wow. Is that amazing? Was there anything she helped again? Okay. So now as she walked on, she came across a beautiful house. Well, she walked towards it and knocked on the door. And somebody opened the door. Guess what? There were 7 fairies there. The fairy said, "You're welcome. Come in. What do you want?" She said, "Can I spend night at your place because it's getting very dark and I'm scared. Can I sleep? And I have nowhere to sleep. Can I sleep for one night?" She said, "But okay, but where are you off to, lady? Where are you off to?" She said, "I am going to look for a house where I can find a job to help in the house chores." The fairy Nika, "Why don't you stay overnight? And we need some help. Why don't you help us?" "Yes, we have 7 rooms. You have to keep them clean and in order. That's all you have to do. But you have to do only 6 rooms. You're not supposed to go to the 7th room." "Okay." She said, fine. She was happy. She had found a job. She didn't have to go looking for it all over the countryside. तो वो बहुत खुशी से वहाँ सोई. Next morning से उसने regularly काम करना शुरू कर दिया. She worked quietly. She did as she was told, and she never even looked at the 7th door. She kept cleaning and keeping everything in very good order because she was a very diligent. That's the new word you've learned. Hardworking, diligent and hardworking. And she worked morning and evening, but she didn't ever go to the 7th room. Now the fairies knew, she's a good girl. So they were nice to her, they fed her well, and they looked after her, and she looked after them. And soon 1 year had passed by. Whoa! Whoever is listening to my story, could you please like my page? Thank you. And wow, she kept working and working, and then 1 year had passed. Like I said, after 1 year, she wanted to go back home. So she went up to the fairy and spoke to her. And what did she say? She said, "Dear fairy, you've been so nice to me. Now, but I'm missing home. I need to go home. Would you allow me to go home?" "Oh, yes, of course you can go. But you'll have to do one thing, and that is tonight you will go and sleep in the room number 7, which you have not been going into. You have been a good girl. You didn't go in there. Go and lay down there. You'll find gold and silver coins. Whoa! And just lie down on them. Go to sleep. Whatever coin, silver or gold gets stuck to your dress, they will be all yours." Oh, well, Melinda was excited. She could go home. She wasn't a greedy type. So she went off into that room, and she was splendidly surprised. इतना बड़ा कमरा और उसमें इतने gold coins और silver coins थे. Oh my God, they could not ever be counted. So she lay down quietly on the bed of coins, पे लेट गई और सो गई मजे से. जब वो सुबह उठी तो बहुत से gold coins और silver coins उसकी ड्रेस पे पीछे आगे चिपक गए थे. They had glued on. They were stuck on her dress. Look at it. This is her apron, her collar. So they were stuck here, 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 everywhere. चलो जी, फिर क्या हुआ? She thanked the fairies and started walking back home. Now it was a long walk. As she was walking, whoop, whoop, she heard the same dog. He said, "Good morning. How are you?" Whoop, whoop. She said, "I'm fine. It's good to see you all clean and healthy." He said, "Well, you look thirsty. Do you want some water?" She said, "Yes, I would like it." So he took a tumbler, went to the stream, and gave her a good glass of what? Water. She was so thankful. She drank the whole glass and then thanked the doggy and started walking on. Soon she came across the same mud oven, and she was tired and hungry because she had been walking like the first time, you know how far it was, the fairy's house where she had been working. Oh, she was tired and hungry. She didn't know what she could do. And suddenly, when she saw the mud oven, it was all surrounded by baked croissants and cookies and pies and quiches. Wow, what a splendid spread, she said. But she didn't help herself, no. And then the mud oven said, hey lady, I know you're hungry, you're famished, you need rest. So why don't you come and eat some food from me? And you can pick and choose as much as you can and enjoy the meal. So she was so, thank you, my dear oven, my dear friend. She picked up one plate and she was so famished, उसको इतनी भूख लगी हुई थी कि वो खाती गई. Kindly please like my page, whoever is listening, I appreciate it. वो खाती गई. उसके बाद उसने थोड़ा सा जो उसके पास बैग था, थोड़ा सा खाना on the way back के लिए या घर के लिए रख लिया. See how kind she was. She didn't want to take revenge and she didn't get bitter. उस समय नहीं थी कि उसकी stepmother ने उसके साथ क्या किया था. But not all stepmothers are like that. Remember, all people are different. So as she started walking, feeling fed और बहुत अच्छा feel कर रही थी, फिर वो चलती, walking, and now she was tired. She wanted to sleep. And then she saw the tree with full of fruits and full of leaves. It was giving a grand shade. She just sat down there under the tree, and it felt as if the tree put its branches around her, and she felt embraced and hugged and cuddled, and she went to sleep there, and she was safe. But when she got up, she hadn't noticed the fruits earlier because she was tired and sleepy. So there were a lot of fruits, and the tree said, you can have as much of fruit, you can pick the fruit, you can pluck the fruit, eat it, enjoy it, and then you can take it with you. And that's exactly what she ate some, she picked some, she collected, and she went up the tree and plucked some fruits, put them in her bag for her father and mother and sister, and started walking back home. Whoa. And that's exactly what happened. Soon she reached home. The mother was shocked to see her, and with gold, silver coins all over her dress. How? So you made so much money? She was not even happy. The father was so happy, and he hugged his daughter and was happy that she had come back. And now, but the mother was so angry, that mother. Let me show you her expression. She said, oh, my daughter Belinda is going to make more money. So she pushed out her lazy Belinda, where? Yeah, out, and tell her, you go and bring all that money by working in that house, when she had heard the story from Linda. Oh, all right. So she was pushed, and she was not happy because she didn't like to work at all. Okay, so where is our sulky little lady? She looked quite like her mother. Okay, so she went, and she was heavy because she would always lie down in the house. She was huffing and puffing, and when she reached the tree, now the tree saw her and asked the same question which it had asked Linda. What are you doing here, young girl? She said, oh, I have to look for a job in a rich house so I can bring some money. He said, okay, but all my branches have dried and they are dead and they are taking away my food and energy. Can you help me by pulling them out so I'm cleaner and healthier and stronger? She said, no, I can't do this. I can't climb a tree, and why should I help you? This is how she was. So she walked on with a sulky face, very different from Linda. Look at the expression. So she kept walking and walked. She was panting, and then she came across the same mud oven. Yeah, it was a test. And the oven said, "Hello, what are you doing here?" She said, "Oh, I am walking and past you and ahead because I have to look for a job and make some money." He said, "But before you go, can you help me? I'm all worn out. I'm all broken from all over. Yeah, I can't bake properly. I can't work properly." She said, "No, I don't want my hands to get dirty, and I don't have time for all this. I'll get all soiled. I am wearing such nice clothes." And she walked off with a sulk on her face. And she could not look at her, how different she is. Yeah. And then she walked on and on and on. And what happened? Yeah. Now who did she meet? The dog. Woof, 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 woof. He said, "Hello, can you help me? I've become dirty. There was another lady who washed me. Now can you wash me? Woof, woof, woof. Can you wash me? Woof, woof." She said, "No, you're so dirty. You'll make my clothes and my hands so bad and dirty. And what if I develop an allergy? No, I don't have time for dirty people and dirty things." And he was so sad, and he sat down. And she walked off like this, with a proud face and with a sulky face. And there she walked on, and she was so tired. It was evening time. And then she saw the beautiful house, the same Linda had seen. So now Belinda reached that and knocked and walked in, and there was this beautiful fairy, same fairy. And she said, "What do you want?" She said, Can I sleep in your house, please? I'm so tired." She said, "Okay, but what are you doing here?" She said, "I am looking for a job so I can make some money. My mother has sent me away from home." Oh. The fairy was equally nice to this girl, but she knew her that she was different. So she told her she was welcome to spend the night, and she could work at the place by cleaning 6 rooms out of 7. And then she was told very strictly never ever open or go inside the 7th room. So she was just supposed to organize and clean, साफ रखने थे और organized रखने थे 6 rooms. She said okay, but for the first few days she worked because she knew she was going to get money. And she would whenever she would pass by the 7th door, she would be very curious. So but time went on and on. She spent some weeks, but she could not shut out her curiosity. So one night she sneaked in, and what did she do? Oh my God, she went and opened quietly the 7th door, and she stepped in, and she saw everything was dark and quiet, but still she was very curious. उसको बहुत शौक था ये देखने का इन्होंने मुझे मना क्यों किया. She did not follow the rules. Discipline is very important, and you should not cheat or sneak. करना चाहिए हमें ऐसे? No. It's a bad habit. You need courage and bravery. Yes, to stop you, to suppress your curiosity को खत्म करके सब्र करना चाहिए. Okay, when it's good time you'll find out. But when she went in, the door slammed shut, and suddenly she was surrounded by bees and wasps. Oh my God, and insects that bite like bees and wasps and so many kind of they picked her face, that she started bit her so much that she started bleeding. She started screaming and ran out of the door, screaming. And she just ran and left the house and started running towards her home. She could not work anymore. She hated that place. And imagine, she said, what did I do to deserve this? Her face was bleeding, her hands were bleeding. Oh my God, she was in a mess, and she was huffing and puffing. And when she reached the dog, the same dog, whoop, whoop, what's wrong with you? Oh, can you help me, dog? Can you bring me some water to wash my blood and my injuries, my insect bite? He said, whoop, whoop, I can't help you. I can't help you. You didn't help me the last time. Oh, and she walked on. And then she came as she walked, itching and scratching and crying and hurting so much, with blood spots all over her dress, which she wanted to keep clean. And she reached the mud oven. Now the mud oven had the same big delight, the croissants and the brownies and the pies and the pastries, and they were all laid out in front of, all around the oven. Oh, she was so hungry and so fed up. Oh my God, she ran and ran. And then she grabbed, without even asking, tried to grab the food. But the day, an arm came out of the oven and snatched the plate. No, you don't deserve this food. Did you help me when I needed? Did you repair me? Did you fix me? Did you listen to my plea of help? मैंने जब request की थी help की, क्या आपने help की? No, you can't get this. You go off your way. You're not a kind girl. You're not a good person. And so the lazy girl took twice as longer to keep going, and then she came across the same tree that I had asked her to break her twigs. Oops. Now she could see juicy fruits hanging on the branches of the tree, and she wanted a nap. So, she went and sat under the tree to sleep. But the insects around there started poking her. Even the branches of the tree just told her and disturbed her so she couldn't sleep. But she said, I can eat at least. So she tried to pluck the fruit, and the branches would move up. And the voice came, no, lady, did you help me? Did you help me clean up? Break off my branches that were poor things dead, right? And they needed rest, and I needed more food from the roots. Oh my God, now you won't get any fruits and you won't get any rest under me. You go your way. You're a nasty little girl. Oh, she cried. Now she was bleeding more because nothing had been done to fix her insect bites, hundreds of them all over her. Bzzz, remember? And she walked and trotted and, very gradually, tired and in pain and in agony, she entered her home. And guess what? When Linda saw her, she ran to her and asked her what had happened. And the mother was so angry to see her like that. Why did you do such things? Why couldn't you bring money? She didn't even bother to wash or bandage her daughter, but Linda did. And then the girl cried and cried. She was in pain, she was hurt, she was injured. And the father said, I told you, to the mother, she will not be able to make money. Now, when the father had realized that the mother had thrown away Linda had not walked off or of her own wish, he told his wife and his daughter, Belinda, you are not worthy of staying in my home and sharing my food on my table. And he threw them out of the house, and they both had to leave the home. And now the father and the daughter, Linda, would be living there. He said, you don't deserve to live here. You have been dishonest. You have been unfair. You have been cruel. You have been harsh. आपने सख्ती की, आपने मारा और उसको घर से बाहर निकाल दिया. No. और आपकी ये बेटी भी जो आपकी है ना, उसको मैनर्स हैं ना, वो कुछ करती है, सोती है और खाती है. ऐसे तो नहीं होगा. I don't want such. But you cheated behind me. So I know such people have no room in my heart or in my home. And they were thrown away out of the house. So Linda was sad for some time because she didn't like to hurt anybody, but her father told her they didn't deserve. They made their lives unhappy and horrible and messy. So he said they were better off without them, and they had to pay for their mistakes and unfair and injustice. उन्होंने ज़्यादती की, अनफेयर थे, झूठ बोला, गलती की, सख्ती की, तो वो ऐसे लोग नहीं रह सकते हमारे साथ, हमारी फैमिली बन के. So that's how it happened. So you know what goes around comes around. हर वक्त हमें अपने बारे में नहीं सोचना चाहिए. हर वक्त हम सिर्फ ये सोचते हैं मुझे ये बुक चाहिए, मुझे ये पेन चाहिए, मुझे पिज़्ज़ा चाहिए, मुझे ये शूज़ चाहिए. नहीं, आपको दूसरों का भी ख्याल रखना होता है. See if it is possible for your parents to take you. Shouldn't throw tantrums, and do you help clean your cupboards or your school books or your bedroom or the lounge that you use at home. You can help even if you have lots of help at home. Try to help them. Speak to them kindly. And whenever your mother is tired, look after her. Give her a cup of tea or a glass of milk or water, and same goes for the father. Receive him with a smile and ask him how his day was. Kitna acha lagega, and you'll be happier family. And I'm sure you're doing your homeworks as you're told, you sleep on time, and you're keeping the planet clean. Oh, don't forget, COVID is all coming back. So we have to wear masks, wash our hands, and use sanitizers. Get vaccinated. I know you're all doing that. You all remind each other of that. You're keeping your houses and rooms clean, the streets, the malls, the schools clean. We'll soon be a very clean place in the world. Yes, you got to do it. Only you guys can do it. Lovely ladies and lovely men, thank you for joining in. Let me know what kind of stories you need to hear. Bye-bye. Thank you so much.